Right now, while you're listening to this, someone is gaining an advantage over you. Not tomorrow, not next year, right now. And the worst part is, you probably don't even notice it happening, because the game being played around you was designed so that you stay calm, predictable, polite, and easy to manage. You think you're being a good person. You think patience will be rewarded. You think respect will eventually come back to you. But the truth is much colder than that. Every day you walk into rooms where people instantly measure you. They test your limits. They watch how much you tolerate. And once they know where your boundaries end, that becomes the exact point where they begin to push. You might already feel it, that strange frustration you carry, the feeling that people overlook you, that someone else gets the promotion, that someone else speaks over you, that someone else gets the attention, the respect, the influence. Meanwhile, you keep playing fair. You keep being reasonable. You keep waiting for your turn. But here's the brutal reality most men discover too late. The world doesn't reward fairness. It rewards awareness. It rewards perception. It rewards those who understand the hidden mechanics of power. Most people go through life blind to these mechanics. They believe what they were taught growing up. Be nice, be honest, be consistent, be predictable. And those values are not wrong, but when you display them without awareness, they become tools others use against you. Predictability is easy to manipulate. Transparency is easy to exploit. Loyalty without boundaries is easy to drain. You've seen it before. The guy at work who smiles at everyone but quietly positions himself closer to the boss. The friend who only calls when he needs something. The person who talks over you in a group just to establish dominance. These things seem small, but they are signals. Signals of people who understand power instinctively, even if they've never read a single book about it. And this is where things get uncomfortable. Because the system you live in doesn't want you to notice this. It doesn't want you questioning it. It prefers you calm, passive, obedient, easy to predict. Because predictable men are easy to control. But centuries ago, one man wrote openly about the truth most people whisper about but never say out loud. A man whose name still makes people uneasy today. Machiavelli, a man who looked at human nature without illusions, without moral theater, without pretending the world is fair. And he wrote words that still echo through power structures today. He once said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." That line alone explains half the world you're living in. Because people are not reacting to who you truly are. They react to the image you project. And if you don't control that image, someone else will define it for you, quietly, subtly, permanently. This is the hidden truth most men were never supposed to understand. Lesson 1 is about perception. Power starts long before you speak. It starts before you even open your mouth. Imagine two men entering a room. One walks in uncertain, looking around for approval. The other walks in calm, scanning the room slowly, saying little. The difference isn't physical strength, it's perceived certainty. People instinctively gravitate toward the second man. Why? Because humans are wired to follow signals of control and confidence. Machiavelli understood that perception shapes reality. The practical action is simple but uncomfortable. Slow down your reactions, speak less, observe more. Let silence make people reveal themselves. Drop this in the comments. I see more than I say. Lesson 2 is about predictability. When people know exactly how you will react, they can control outcomes before they even happen. Think about the guy who always says yes, the one who never pushes back. Over time, everyone stops respecting him, not because he's weak physically, but because his behavior has no mystery. Dark psychology operates through patterns. Once your pattern is known, your influence drops. The practical shift is this: break patterns intentionally. Sometimes say no without explanation. Sometimes stay quiet when people expect you to react. Drop this in the comments. Predictability is a cage. Lesson 3 goes deeper: emotional control. The fastest way someone gains power over you is by controlling your emotions. When someone can make you angry on command, they own your reaction. You've seen this online. Someone throws a small insult. Suddenly, a man explodes, arguing for hours, losing status in front of everyone watching. Meanwhile, the other person stays calm, even smiling. Machiavelli understood something most people deny. The calmest person in the conflict usually wins the perception battle. The action here is discipline. Train yourself to pause before reacting. A 5-second silence can change an entire power dynamic. Drop this in the comments. My reaction is my power. Lesson 4 is about attention. Attention is currency. Wherever your attention goes, power follows. Many men wasted chasing validation, checking who liked their post, wondering who ignored their message. This slowly lowers their internal authority. But the moment you stop chasing attention and start directing it strategically, the dynamic shifts. People become curious about you. Why? Because attention withdrawn creates gravity. Lesson 5 is uncomfortable but necessary. Not everyone around you wants you to grow. Some people benefit from you staying exactly where you are, friendly on the surface, quiet underneath. These people rarely attack directly. Instead, they use subtle discouragement, jokes that cut your confidence, advice that keeps you small, doubt disguised as concern. Machiavelli would call this political behavior, not evil, just human nature operating in its raw form. Your action is awareness. Watch patterns, not words. Drop this in the comments. I see actions, not promises. Lesson 6 is about controlled distance. Many men believe being available at all times makes them valuable, but constant availability lowers perceived value. Scarcity increases importance. When you are always reachable, always agreeing, always present, people subconsciously place you lower in priority. This is not manipulation, it is social dynamics. Learn to create space in your responses. Space increases weight. Lesson 7 is the turning point. Understanding power without losing yourself, because this knowledge can feel dangerous if misunderstood. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction. The goal isn't to become ruthless. The goal is to stop being naive, to stop being the easiest target in the room. You start noticing things now. The way conversations shift when you remain calm, the way people reveal their intentions when you stop over-explaining, the way respect slowly appears when you stop asking for it, and something inside you begins to change. Not loudly, not dramatically, but fundamentally, because once you see these patterns, you cannot unsee them. The energy you used to waste trying to be liked starts turning into awareness. You begin observing people instead of reacting to them. You start recognizing hidden tests in conversations. You notice who interrupts you, who dismisses your ideas, who watches you carefully when you speak.
And here's the twist most people miss. The moment you become aware of power dynamics, others start feeling it, even if you never say a word about it. That's the hidden truth. Power is often silent. And when a man becomes silent in the right way, the entire room adjusts around him. Now, imagine applying this consistently. Weeks pass, then months. People who once overlooked you start thinking twice before doing it again, not because you threatened them, but because your presence changed. You stopped leaking energy. You stopped reacting impulsively. You stopped giving everyone access to your attention. Drop this in the comments. My presence speaks before I do. And something deeper begins forming, something Machiavelli understood.
This image becomes armor. But there's still something you need to hear before going further. Because awareness alone is not enough. You must accept something that many men resist. Most of what you believed about respect growing up was incomplete. Respect doesn't automatically come from being good. It comes from being understood as someone who cannot be easily moved, pressured, or controlled. And that realization is where everything begins to shift internally. Because now you're standing at a psychological threshold. On one side is the version of you who tried to win by being agreeable, transparent, and endlessly patient. On the other side is a version of you that sees the game clearly. And once you cross that line, there is no returning to the old mindset. That's where the transformation begins. Because slowly, quietly, a realization grows stronger in your mind. You were never supposed to understand this. Not this early, not this clearly, not this deeply. But now that you do, the way you move through the world begins to change. The old you is dead. Not physically, but psychologically. The version that gave away power without realizing it is gone. In its place stands someone more aware, more controlled, more precise. And that leads us to the deeper layer of Machiavelli's hidden truth, the layer most people refuse to confront because it demands responsibility. Once you see how power works, you can't pretend you're helpless anymore. You can't blame the system without also recognizing how you participate in it. That realization alone separates observers from players. You start seeing micro moments that most people ignore. The pause before someone speaks, the subtle shift in body language when confidence enters the room, the way groups unconsciously form hierarchies within minutes. These are not random social behaviors. They are patterns repeating everywhere. In schools, in offices, in friendships, even in families. And once you start recognizing these patterns, your decisions become sharper. You begin choosing when to speak and when silence creates more authority. You notice when someone is testing your boundaries, not because they hate you, but because humans naturally probe limits. Machiavelli wrote about rulers and kingdoms, but the same psychology plays out in everyday life between individuals. Take a simple example, a meeting at work. Someone interrupts you mid-sentence. Most people react instantly, trying to fight for their space, raising their voice, pushing harder to be heard. But something strange happens when a man pauses instead, when he calmly finishes his thought without rushing, when he holds eye contact and continues speaking at the same pace. The room adjusts, not dramatically, but subtly.
because composure signals control. That's the hidden mechanism most people miss. Power often isn't about force, it's about signaling stability under pressure. Drop this in the comments. Calm is a form of dominance. Another layer you begin to understand is strategic restraint. Many men think power means speaking more, proving more, showing more, but the opposite is often true. When you reveal everything about yourself too quickly, people stop being curious about you, and curiosity is a powerful psychological lever. It keeps attention orbiting around you. Think about the people who naturally command a room without trying. They don't rush to fill every silence. They don't explain themselves endlessly. They let their presence do part of the work. Machiavelli understood that mystery amplifies authority. Not fake mystery, controlled information. Your action here is simple but uncomfortable. Share less than you normally would, not because you're hiding, but because you're choosing when and where your energy goes. Drop this in the comments. I control what I reveal. Now, here's where things become intense, because once you begin changing these behaviors, some people will react, not always positively. Some will feel the shift immediately. The person who used to dominate conversations with you might start feeling resistance. The friend who benefited from your constant availability might question why you're suddenly harder to reach. This is not conflict, this is recalibration. You are changing the rules they were used to, and people always notice when rules change. This is where many men retreat back into old habits because they fear being misunderstood. But that fear is exactly what keeps them stuck in the same position year after year. Machiavelli observed something brutally honest about human nature. People respect strength they can sense, even if they don't openly admit it. That doesn't mean becoming aggressive, it means becoming unshakable. There is a difference. Aggression seeks validation through force. Authority exists without needing approval. Once you understand that difference, your behavior begins aligning with something deeper than simple confidence. It becomes intentional presence. You walk slower, you speak clearer, you react less, and people start noticing without understanding. Another critical lesson many overlook is the power of selective alliances. Not everyone deserves equal access to your time or loyalty. That idea may sound harsh at first, but think about it carefully. If your attention is unlimited, it loses value. The men who shape their environments intentionally choose whom they invest in. Look around your life. There are people who energize you, challenge you, and push you forward. And there are people who drain focus, constantly create chaos, or subtly undermine your direction. Machiavelli would say leaders survive by understanding who strengthens their position and who weakens it. The practical step here is awareness before commitment. Observe how people behave over time before giving them deeper access to your life. Drop this in the comments. Access to me is earned. As this awareness grows, something unexpected happens inside you. Your need for approval begins fading, not instantly, but gradually. Because the more you understand human behavior, the less it surprises you. You stop taking every slight personally. You stop reacting to every opinion thrown your way. You realize many people operate from their own insecurities, fears, and ambitions. And that realization gives you psychological distance. Distance creates clarity. Clarity creates control. Now we reach the point where most people either evolve or remain exactly where they are, because understanding power changes how you see yourself. Not as someone waiting to be recognized, but as someone shaping their trajectory intentionally. This is where the deeper transformation happens. You stop asking for space in conversations. You take it naturally. You stop convincing everyone. You focus on the few that matter. You stop explaining your boundaries. You enforce them calmly. And the more consistent you become, the stronger your internal authority grows. At first, it feels unfamiliar, almost strange, because for years you were trained to smooth everything out, avoid tension, keep everyone comfortable. But power dynamics don't operate on comfort. They operate on clarity. And clarity is something most people never develop. But you are developing it now. You start seeing the invisible chessboard beneath everyday interactions, small moves, subtle positioning, moments when someone tries to influence direction quietly. And instead of reacting emotionally, you watch, you learn, you adjust. This is where the transformation becomes undeniable, because the mindset shift is no longer theoretical, it's operational. You are thinking differently, you are moving differently, and most importantly, you are no longer the easiest person